Hey YouTubers, Raven here,
Starfire.
and tonight we're doing a Black Lightning!
Season 2, Episode 5, The Book of Blood, Chapter 1. What the heck is that?
I did Season 2, Episode 5.
The Book
Chapter
of Blood, Chapter 1. Oh.
Yeah.
I just saw you doing what, and I'm like, what? You totally missed it.
So, what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was good. Oh, it was The Book of Blood, Chapter 1, Requiem. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked it up, when I marked it off on the thing, it didn't have the Requiem on there, but on the TV Time app it did. So, yeah. Anyway, it was a good episode. It was sad. It was kind of a more somber episode.
It didn't happen unless you see a body.
Yeah. I don't believe Gamby's truly dead because we didn't see his body.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
And shows like this.
I mean, yeah, like, seriously, with these shows, like, they can always bring people back. If it's not over till it's over. Like, if you didn't see a body,
it didn't happen.
then it didn't happen. They can bring them back.
Yeah.
They're not truly dead unless there is a body. So, I mean, he might have died, but I don't believe he's dead. I don't know, like, Jefferson didn't necessarily bother me this episode.
He didn't do anything, so he
didn't really do that much. He was just grieving over Gamby.
Yeah.
They all were. But Nyssa was pretty much taking charge. I mean, she was working in the clinic, and she was helping that couple, and, you know, Jen is still, like, dealing with being in the house and not getting to be out and go to school and everything.
I love how she reacted when the computer asked her if she was still there.
Yeah, I know.
I felt that way so many times. Because I was homeschooled for a while. And I was in charter school, which means I went to school a couple days a week, not every day, for a while. And for my first 2 years of high school, and then for my last 2, I was thrown back into public school. But for those times when I was homeschooled and put into charter, a lot of my homework and tests were all done online at home. And like online or online at home or whatever, a mixture of both.
Like a program online at your house.
Right. And it would ask whether you're there, or the test would time out, or...
Yeah. Like, and if the test timed out and you weren't done with it, then... Like...
Oh, well. Like, if you had an actual teacher for it, then you could call them and be like, so this happened.
Yeah.
And you figure something out. But for those tests, for those classes that were strictly just online, no teacher, because it was a program, there was no way to... Yeah, it was...
Yeah. At first I thought she was, like, legitimately talking to a teacher. Like, saying, why are you asking me if I'm here? And then, like, it showed the test, and I'm like, oh. Well, I would say that about calculus, too, because calculus sucks.
Well, because she hadn't touched the keyboard in a while.
Yeah.
So...
No, I know.
Yeah, it's like when your computer falls asleep, it's like, you're not watching. Or Netflix, you stop hitting the button and then it asks, are you still there?
See, that doesn't happen to me very often because I don't binge stuff that much. So, I mean, it has happened in the past, but very rarely because I don't usually watch a lot of episodes at a time.
It happens to me a lot. So. Not recently. Not within the last couple months, but...
I think it's just that the shows that I watch... if I watch like a whole season in one thing, like it's way too much information for me to process. So I have to like watch a couple episodes and then stop and go back to it. So,
yeah. But yeah, great episode.
Yeah, it was good.
It was kind of relatable, you know, like the sadness they were going through.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the time it is just like family dynamics and blah 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 blah, but at this point, like, you see those three become really vulnerable for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were kind of vulnerable when they were all being attacked, but that wasn't emotional vulnerability.
Right.
And so this is the first time that we've really seen them all have this level of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
The actors all did amazingly for it.
They did.
This does not mean that I have forgiven Jefferson for being a dick, but it means that I'll give him a reprieve for tonight. But yeah, if this is all true, then it really is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And
because
I'm not ready to lose Gambit.
I'm not either. I mean, it's only season 2. Like, yeah, I understand that, like, the mentor usually has to go at some point, but, like, I feel like it's too early for that to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like he still needs to be there for a little bit longer. So I really hope that he's not actually dead.
Yeah. Because he helped, Nessa...
Because, I mean, Karen, she wasn't actually dead. She fell out the window.
With a harpoon in her gut.
With a harpoon in her gut. And she was freaking alive.
Yeah.
She survived. Because we didn't see her body when she jumped out the window. She just jumped out the damn window.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you don't see a body, there is a large possibility that they will still be alive.
Yeah. And I like how Nessa has been so, like, open and just trying to move forward with her life and find new things to do. Because I don't think she's teaching at all at Freeland anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's good to see her doing something else, but I don't remember her being... Okay, her major was not doctoral.
No.
So how is she wearing... Like, she's legit full-on doctor.
Yeah, but the jacket said free clinic on it.
Yeah, but I mean, this got no level of believability.
Yeah.
Like, none.
But I mean, probably a lot of people can volunteer at a free clinic.
Yes, but they don't all get to wear the doctor's outfit and go in and do, like all doctoral
I mean, maybe
things.
she did get that. Maybe they just haven't said that.
Because she wasn't away doing, like, doctor classes. Like...
medical school?
Yeah. Like, it didn't show her, like, learning how to operate or
because she was
learning
already working.
She was still attending courses.
But she was also working as a teacher at the high school.
Part-time.
Well, she probably... Maybe it didn't show her doing it, but she probably had enough experience to where she could help take care of people at the clinic. I mean, they wouldn't hire her on for no reason. She had to have some experience.
Plot convenience.
So.
Script says it's okay, so it's okay. No, it's not. I'll call you on that bullshit. But, yeah. I did not think that I would have an issue with this episode.
What's your issue?
Nessa, actually. And I love her. She's like one of my favorite characters. And my problem is probably the one thing you would not imagine.
The stuff with her girlfriend?
Yes! That's my issue with her.
Yeah.
Like, this never been my issue with them. You know?
Well, I mean, I understand how the other girl feels.
Yeah. Like, I'm just, like, I've never had an issue like this.
Yeah.
With a show that we reviewed with a lesbian or gay couple.
Yeah.
And so it's just, like, new territory for me to, like, talk about, is that I actually have an issue with this.
Well, what's the issue?
My issue is that in the last episode, like, that we saw this girl in,
Mm-hmm.
Nessa was dating that high-profile woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when she saw this one, she was like, oh, like
she remembered, like she was
I
a past
majorly
love that
effed
she
up.
let get away.
Right? She's like, I effed up. That's the girl I want. Like, you saw that on her face and her actions. She even tried to talk to her, and I'm like, okay, like, she realizes that she effed up. The girl she's with isn't what she wants, and she wants that one.
Yeah.
Like, and even I'm just like, that's the one I've been rooting for this whole time. Like, please.
Oh, the high-profile girl?
No.
Oh, the other one.
The one she got with in this episode. I was
Yeah.
like, come on, like, she's the one for you. Like,
What did she say her name was?
I don't remember. I don't really care right now because it's obviously not going anywhere, which is stupid. But
I mean, it might.
she has to be able to look her in the eyes and tell her.
Yeah, but if she finds out that she's a victim of Greenlight, she'll probably help her.
That's not the same thing. Like, okay, I'm a doctor, you're a victim of Greenlight, I'll help you. Okay, that's totally different than let me shag you.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like,
I knew when she came over there, she just wanted to sleep with her.
well, yeah. And, like, I don't take complete issue with that because that's the girl that I see her with.
Yeah.
But it felt really forced. Like, the whole, like, pin her to the wall and kiss her. Like, I don't know. Like, okay.
Let me say this, though. I feel like that's probably the most, like, sensual it has gotten with a lesbian relationship on a CW show that I've seen. Because even Alex and Maggie didn't do that.
We didn't see them very intimate at all.
That's what I'm saying. This is the most intimate we have seen a lesbian relationship on a show that we watch.
Is it?
I mean, I can't think of anyone where they were pinned to the wall and they did that.
Well, I mean, intensity doesn't mean pinning someone to the wall. So I'm thinking
like,
of, like,
that type of
Sarah
stuff.
and Ava.
Well, yeah, but,
And-
like, I was talking about specifically that. I mean, we haven't really seen that with any of the others that much.
No, not really, but the intensity has been there in some of them.
Yeah.
Like, the whole, like, maybe they're practice fighting and then they tackle each other.
Well, yeah, but I didn't mean that. I meant what we saw here.
Well, anyways, it like her, like, Nessa just macking out on this girl, like, just all over, and I'm just like, okay, I get that that's what happens, but she did not look into it. Like, her, like, being into it seemed really forced.
Oh. Nessa or
no, the girl.
The girl.
Like, Nessa's over here, like, trying to, like, oh my gosh, your neck, oh my gosh, I'm in love, right? And this girl is like, I like that spot, and then she's like, okay, but she's not, like, participating.
Right. She's not reciprocating.
Anything. And I'm like, this feels like
very one-sided.
Yes. Like, I actually pictured the pilot of Charmed and the older sister screaming at the entire party about rape culture. Like, I was like, you can say no at any time.
Oh, but of course, if she said no, then we wouldn't have had that other scene.
I know, but that was going through my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, look, girl, if you're not into this, just say no. Like,
yeah.
I would not be okay with her coming over here crying and then like, oh my gosh, let me kiss you all over.
I would just be like, okay, you're vulnerable right now.
Exactly.
I don't want to take advantage of you.
Or you
take advantage of me. Like, let's just, talk about it. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll listen to you. You can cry on my shoulder. But we ain't gonna have sex.
Right?
Like, no.
No. Like, I could tell that, like, she knew what was happening.
Yeah.
But she let it happen. And I know that happens. But it didn't look like
if she let it happen, she in some way must have wanted it to happen.
Well, yeah, she already admitted that Nessa was, like, was the one person she really can't say no to.
Yeah, so that's why she didn't say no to her.
I know. And, like, the whole thing between them after, like, in the morning, and she's like, this was a mistake. And Nessa was like, what do you mean? Like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I liked it, and like, I want you, and blah, 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 right? Like, saying I want to be in a relationship, and I'm like, okay, awesome. Like, I know that you're going through something, but you know what? Like, this is where I wanted things to go, and it, like, just because she was going through something didn't mean that she couldn't make that solid decision on her own, because I feel like what she said that night when she showed up, like, the only other person I could think of was you. I think that was really telling with how she felt for her. And, so I think that her wanting a relationship is real. She wants this girl, but she can't commit to her, and I'm like, oh, wait. She's asking you not to break her heart, as in, don't go out with the other girls, and, like, stuff like that. She's not thinking that you're Thunder, and you're actually gonna have to break up with her because life or death situation. Like, she's thinking, like, don't go out with that rich girl again. Like, and you can't say you won't?
Yeah.
Like, you can't promise this girl you'll be faithful to her? That's what you're telling me. That's what you told her when you couldn't say yes.
Right.
Like, I'm not okay with that.
It's almost like the whole Ava and Sarah thing until she actually committed to it and they did decide to, like, live together.
Do a relationship, yeah. Like, they weren't in a relationship, and when when Nessa was in her first relationship in season 1, she wasn't cheating.
Yeah.
So she's a loyal person.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why she would have the issue of not being faithful. Like,
maybe it was just a misunderstanding and Nyssa thought she meant, in another way.
well, she couldn't have meant in another way because she doesn't know of the other way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, technically speaking, she can't promise Nessa that she won't break her heart because she's over here popping pills to make sure that her green light body stays intact.
Yeah, so I mean, they both have secrets.
Yeah.
And if both people have secrets, it's really hard to have a relationship.
Yeah.
Because a relationship is built on trust. And if you have to keep lying to the other person, eventually it's going to come out.
Yeah, but I don't blame her for hiding that because they'd only been together like a couple times, and it wasn't an actual relationship. It was more like, I have free time. Are you free right now? I need a booty
But
call.
I mean, if they decide to be in one, they're eventually going to have to tell each other what's going on.
Well, yeah, and they will. And I think the first person to break the news that something's amiss with them is going to be the girlfriend, not Nessa. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's probably not going to be her telling Nessa. It's that Nessa's going to walk in on one of her body freakouts.
Yeah, I think so too.
And, I mean, that's okay, but I don't have an issue with her finding out that way. What I have an issue with, like I said, is the whole Nessa not being able to commit.
Right.
And I didn't think that like, watching that, it felt really...
It did.
And especially the pinning to the wall makeout scene.
Yeah.
Felt really forced. But I didn't think that when I sat down to review, that was what, like, I didn't think I was going to be hounding on this episode for Nessa. Like, she's legit one of my favorite, probably my favorite characters.
Yeah, but sometimes even your favorite characters you have an issue with in something. Like, it's okay. I'm just, like, irritated with Khalil. Like, seriously, dude? Stop. Just leave Jennifer alone.
And Jennifer's throwing mixed signals, and he doesn't...
She is, but at the same time, she's not responding to his text messages, which means she doesn't want to talk to you.
She did that one time, and so now he's thinking, well, maybe she did that one time, so I know she wants to, but she's not doing it because she's doing it out of respect for her parents or something like that. And so I can sneak off every once in a while and make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he's doing is making sure she's okay. And you can kind of see a little bit of the old Khalil coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that.
I am too. I just...
I can see where his arc is going.
As long as he's working with Tobias, though, like, can't really be trusted.
That's not gonna last for that long. Especially after the parable that Tobias told tonight.
Yeah.
I think that he is going to turn on Tobias, and that he's probably going to end up having to live not with the Pierce family, because, let's face it, Jefferson will never let that happen.
Right.
But...
not under his roof.
He'll probably end up living, like, maybe Gamby's shop or something, because he's going to end up becoming part of the crew.
Right.
Like, I see him switching sides and joining up with Thunder and Black Lightning and going after Tobias as a team.
Mm-hmm.
I see that happening in the future. I know that that's going to be a long road for them to trust him like that. But I think that they won't really have a choice. Like, it'll be a life and death moment when Khalil just decides this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe,
as long as he doesn't get killed by Tobias,
Right. I think maybe what might happen is that, like, maybe one of their masks gets knocked off or something, and he discovers that, wait, no, these are the Pierces.
Right.
And I can't go up against them.
Right.
And discovering that he killed Black Lightning, like, he knows he killed Black Lightning and that he was revived. But when he finds out that that's Jefferson, that's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's going to want to try and make things right.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Jennifer, because it's like, she's that's why she ghosted me. Like, oh my gosh, like, everything will come together. And then he'll be like, but she's talking to me every once in a while.
Right.
So there's some redemption here for me, you know? And so I think that it's going to take a while for that to happen.
Right.
And I think that there's going to be, like, a massive showdown at some point this season when he's going to have to fully pick a side. And he's going to stand up for the Lightning crew.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
So,
Nessa's girlfriend's hot. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about... I mean, I know how I feel about it, but, like, yeah, like, she definitely has green light.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can understand Jefferson getting angry at that man in the bar because, like, you know, he was treating that woman really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was a guy and I saw that happening to a woman, I would step in and be like, hey, what are you doing, you know?
Right.
Like, that's not cool. I mean, even being who I am, I'd just be like, no, not okay. I wouldn't punch them because I'm a woman.
And you probably get knocked into next week.
Yeah. But I would defend the woman and be like, no, not okay. You need to go.
Yeah.
And then I would yell at the bartender for not doing anything.
Right? Like, where the hell
I'd be like,
bouncers?
what the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
Just standing there? Freaking, like, call the cops or break it up or something. If you see that that's going on, that is harassment. You need to do something.
Yeah.
You don't just stand there and let it happen.
Right. And, like, I'm
You're
sorry,
part of the problem
but
if you do that.
I know that not all bars and clubs and stuff can afford bouncers and stuff, but that's why the bartenders tend to be buff men.
Right?
When they don't have bouncers and guards and stuff. Because the bartender's supposed to be doing both jobs.
Like, what the hell was wrong with him?
Yeah.
Freaking wanting to get Jefferson in trouble or something? Like, it's a good thing the police chief came in and saw and broke it up, because
and the owner guy ran over to help the chief break it up.
After it already happened.
Well, he walked out of the room after he talked with Jefferson. He just came back in.
Yeah. So it was the bartender's responsibility.
Yes. The white guy did nothing while the black guys fought. Typical.
Probably wanted, right? He probably wanted it to happen.
He was like, oh, I don't have to pay for WWE tonight.
And then the freaking cop at the end with Nessa, I was so pissed. I was like, what?
He's possessed.
No.
Did you see the crap moving around in his skin? That's not legit, okay? That's not okay.
I was like, of course it's gonna be a white cop that pulls her over.
It's gonna be a chubby one too.
Because she's in South Freeland and she's not where she's normally at, and all this stuff, and it's suspicious, and all this crap, and I'm just like, son of a bitch, you know, why?
Right. Like, it just made me mad, the things he said to her.
Oh yeah, me too. I was like I was sitting there like, F you, dude.
Right? He's like, wherever you're going is closed. And she's like, I didn't tell you where I was going. He's like, it doesn't matter, it's closed.
And she's like, I'm checking on somebody.
I have a friend and I'm checking in on them. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Right? I'm sure the house isn't closed for
and
business.
I'm sure that, like, South Freeland probably has a lot of black people, just like the other part of Freeland
Well,
does.
the woman she was going to go check up on was pregnant black lady.
That's what I'm saying. You know?
Yeah.
So he has no reason to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, he's also being controlled by weird silver parasitic crap.
Yeah. Oh, and then the freaking bitch who's working with Lynn, F her.
Right?
F her.
Yes.
Seriously, this is for you.
You saved 14 of them! She could have had all 28!
Like, I was so mad at her. I was like, ugh. Like, yeah, I agreed with Lynn. Get her out of there. GTFO.
Yeah, she just committed 14 counts of murder.
And she didn't even care.
No.
Didn't even blink.
No. She didn't blink when she committed murder and her other stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
well, she can go.
mm-hmm.
Just leave.
This entire episode has been an I love Gamby and hate all other white people.
He's the only good white person on the show. Seriously.
This is so true.
He is literally the only good white person on this TV show.
I know, right? And I don't
he's
care.
gone.
Right?
The principal is a jerk. Freaking Tobias, even though he's not actually white, is a jerk. Like, they're all jerks except Gamby.
Yeah. Like, the government agents are all white, except for the black one that's, the boss over,
Yeah. And the woman who's working with Lynn, she's a bitch too.
Like, the only...
The one who
the only government person...
The one who was on Eureka.
No.
She was... Well, but she was... Isn't she one of the government agents?
I'm talking about the one that's over Lynn.
Oh,
The
okay.
old black guy that thinks
yeah.
he knows everything.
Yeah, that guy. The one that looks like a freaking,
Simpson?
No, the one that... The one
It's
that
the
looks
hair.
like a basset hound.
Right, yeah.
His
The
face
hair
is all
kind of,
droopy.
the hair kind of made me think like Simpson a little bit. Like one of the Simpsons characters. But, yeah. Like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
He's a major butthole, and
He
I
is.
really don't like him.
But the woman who was working with her, like, she's a bitch.
Well,
The
yeah.
principal's a bitch.
Yeah.
All the other people are bitches except Gamby.
Right? Like, all the white people just, like, be screwing everything
Even
up.
the police officer, even though he's possessed, he probably has those same hatred feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like-
I mean, in the first episode, what happened? Jefferson, like, in the first episode of the series, Jefferson got pulled over by a white cop.
Exactly,
And
because they're
questioned
being relevant.
and frisked.
Because they're being relevant to
Yes.
what's happening with black people in the South and white cops pulling them over and killing them for no freaking reason other than that they're black.
Right.
So yeah, all those people are bitches and can die.
Yeah, like, I have no issue that all the white people would be, like, hella evil in this show except for Gamby. Like,
Because Gamby's the good one. Like,
Mhm.
he always does the right thing. He's helped the Pierce family, like, more times than they can count. He's saved their lives. He's their father figure. He's a mentor. Like, he truly is part of their family.
yeah.
And and he's also done everything else to help, you know,
Yeah.
Tim Freeland in other ways, and he's just a big part of the community.
Yeah.
I mean, not only the Pierce family knew him, but everybody else did too.
I love that, like, it had the veggie cart had to be run by an Asian guy. Like, I was just like, okay. and Gambi was speaking fluent whatever language.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's realistic because Gambi totally worked overseas.
Yeah. And I mean, they do have good vegetables in Asia.
Yeah, but it's Freeland.
Yeah.
I'm just, like, when I saw that, I kind of thought Avatar, The Last Airbender. Like, okay, not the movie, okay, that's, like, complete shit. But the cartoon in which you had this running gag of the cabbage,
Patch Kids?
No, the cabbage guy. Why would a Cabbage Patch Kid be in an animated
I don't
TV
know!
show? But, like, there's this cabbage guy who's always selling cabbages, and then every time he shows up, somehow Aang and his friends trash the cart to smithereens, and he's all like, my cabbages! Like, every time he shows up, he's a running gag through the whole series. And, I mean, it's kind of based on, like, Easternish, like, Asianish culture, right? Or, like,
what
like, Avatar. Like,
yeah.
So, I pictured that guy as, like, an Asian guy, an older Asian guy selling cabbages. And so then when I saw this elderly Asian man selling stuff that kind of resembled, like, cabbages and veggies, I was just like, my cabbages!
Yeah.
I expected Gambi's car to blow up right there. But
yeah,
no.
So, yeah.
I enjoyed this one.
It was a good one.
It was. Tonight gave me lots of, like, in the flash, I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that show, this reminds me of that show. And tonight this reminds me of Avatar.
Right?
For this show. So, it's just like, everything's been, like...
They've both been good episodes tonight.
Yeah. And I know we didn't mention this on our Flash review, but we do have, you posted the Stan thing, right? So we do have a farewell video to Stan Lee up on the channel if you want to go watch that, talking about how he impacted our lives and what he meant to us.
Yeah.
And to the world as a whole.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, there's no cover photo on it, but I just uploaded it, so it's like kind of a special out of the ordinary video that we did that's not part of our reviews, but we wanted to talk about it. So.
It's not in any playlist, right?
No.
You just find it by clicking videos if you can't find it on the page.
Yeah, unless it's like the first one that shows up when you go to the channel.
It probably won't be because it's not on I have it set up so that it's all playlists.
Well, go to the videos and it'll be after the Flash video's uploaded, it'll be the second one. But right now it's probably still the first unless the Flash video's done.
So. When this is up, it'll be the third.
Yes.
But I mean, they can read the titles. So
right, because I just titled it Stan Lee Tribute, so.
Yeah. So go watch that if you guys feel so inclined, and
she does most of the talking.
I tend to do that when it comes to comics and stuff.
So yeah.
But yeah, if you guys do that and watch that, then please comment down below in the comments section about what he meant to you, and let's discuss the Stan Lee.
Rest in peace.
Yes, Excelsior. So I suppose
until next time.
Family
is what you make it.
Yes, family is what you make it.